What happened to Cam Reddish? Somebody asked me to do a video on Cam Reddish and break down what happened to him and why he's not in the NBA no more. Now, the first thing I want to say, this video is not about bashing Cam Reddish. It's all about giving my analysis on why I think he's not an NBA player right now. That don't mean he can't return. It's just what it is right now. So let me break this down for y'all. And y'all let me know in the comments if y'all think my analysis is fair or unfair. So I went all the way back to the Duke days and watched some film, and I saw something. A very talented player, but he's one of those players that you just don't know what to do with him. Because the way he plays is more suited for like a superstar, like a Paul George or an all-star type of guard, but you just don't get those same results. So then you would try to fit him into a role like a Malik Beasley or a Caldwell Pope, but he doesn't shoot the ball well enough to do that either. So what tends to happen is his game pretty much becomes an eyesore, and unfortunately, his lows become magnified. And when I go back to the Duke days and I see turnovers like this, and then when I go back and watch his NBA film, I'm seeing similar or almost the exact type of turnover. The thing that stood out to me when he was at Duke was he got a lot of charges called on him. And for a player with this special archetype, I think it foreshadows what type of player he was going to be in the NBA. He had a game against Wake Forest, and this is crazy because in this game, he got called for 3 charges. Do you know how crazy it is to get called for 3 charges in one game? That means you're not even looking to play mate. You just look at the goal and you see red. And so when I said that him getting these type of charges in college kind of foreshadow how his NBA career will look, this is what I mean. Because he's wired to be a scorer. He's always looking to score. But the problem with that is he's just not that great of a scorer, at least not anymore. So when you get to the NBA and the competition is a little bit better, you don't get the same type of opportunities to do what you think you can do. And some of the things you may or may not have gotten away with in college will be magnified in the NBA. But here's a perfect example of what I mean. Cam shoots a 3 in the corner and he misses it, right? Cool, that's not the problem. The problem starts right here. He get the offensive rebound, and let's count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in his vicinity, and he decides he want to throw up a Dr. J style layup and miss. And obviously 3 other players are wide open. That's an eyesore. Maybe not an immediate indictment, but an eyesore for sure. Here's another example. He's so wired to score. Playmaking is not a priority for him. So when he drives on a play like this, he's trying to score. So we get a handoff and he drives the baseline and he tries to get all the way to the basket and he gets met outside the paint. I'm sure he wasn't expecting that. He jumps up in the air and he hadn't processed the floor well, and then he throws it away. This is just how he's wired. And in his mind, he's been doing it his whole life, but the NBA is so different from high school and college. Like right here, he get the ball screen and Bam Adebayo ends up switching on him. Which means you got Mitchell Robinson being guarded by Tyler Hero. That's the real mismatch right there. But in Cam's mind, he's him. Rightfully so, but you gotta know what come with that. So he get the switch, and instead of passing it, he shoot a sidestep 3 and then he airballs it. Once again, an eyesore. And a shot like that might be an indictment now. So now, almost every single thing he does bad looks really bad. And I'm sure it hurts your confidence as a player as well too, but don't get me wrong. On any given night, he can do some really good things, like right here. This is a solid play. They got a little handoff going, and all the action is to Cam's right side. So he does the right thing and drives opposite. He gets in the paint, and because Brook Lopez is in the restricted area, you want to try to challenge him at the rim and draw a foul. That's a good take. But then, in his next situation, we get the same setup. But I want you to pay attention to Obi Toppin right here. He wants to turn the corner, but he sees Giannis right there. Probably not a good idea, right? So he backs out and he goes DHO to Cam Reddish. So when Cam get it, now Giannis is in the drop coverage, guarding him below the 3-point line. And you would think Cam would have the same thought process as Obi. You probably don't want to go at Giannis, but in Cam's mind, sure, why not? So he goes to the goal and things just don't work out. So you can understand what I mean when I say Cam is a special archetype, because who he think he is as a player is just not realistic with what he's shown and with the opportunities he's going to get to show. And like I said, this video wasn't about bashing Cam Reddish. It's more so about highlighting how good the NBA actually is. And for a player like Cam Reddish to have to go play in Lithuania because he just couldn't stick on a roster, even though he's a decorated high school basketball player, a decorated college basketball player, the moral of the story is this could be you. So my advice is to learn how to adapt, reassess, be real with yourself, and keep improving no matter what. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. If y'all think my assessment is fair of Cam Reddish, let me know. If you think it's unfair, let me know. Drop a comment.